Hi, I'm xoChloeElise, and this is the Fashion to Impact podcast, the show where we empower curvy mid-sized women to quit playing it safe and begin presenting their best self in any situation. Through discussing the latest fashion trends and discovering ways to overcome the status quo, on this journey, we'll learn what it truly means to impact the world through fashion. Welcome back to the Fashion to Impact podcast. I'm your host, xoChloeElise, and let's have these hard conversations. So, y'all, today, something just happened, and I guess this is the episode that I'm supposed to do because something also happened over on the Clubhouse streets, which really kind of triggered me. So, we're just going to talk about it. I just want to talk about insecurities. I think a lot of people don't understand, even becoming an influencer, you can still have all these insecurities. Even though I put portions of my life online, there's so much that you all don't see that I go through, and I'm not going to talk about because I don't think that's everybody's business. And also I'm waiting on God to come through on some things. So if I put out that negativity, it would never happen for me. But I want to talk about my insecurities because I don't have my life together, right? I don't have everything in my life that I want. And I don't want to be portrayed as if I do. You get to see the highlights, but my podcast was really made to give you the testimonies that I'm being delivered from. So that's the main reason why I made this podcast. And I'm telling y'all, I didn't want to do this podcast. I'm going to be honest with y'all, like this crying, sharing my feelings, talk about going to therapy. I'm not perfect. And to get on a freaking public platform where anybody and everybody can click on it and like get a little glimpse of my trash. Nah, shawty. And it's like every time I get convicted, like God always be telling me like, you need to do this podcast. Every situation that happens. So when I get on here, what you see on YouTube is my everyday, but it's so much. You only see in an hour. You're seeing 7 days in an hour. You're seeing an outfit for 10 minutes. Like all of that does not compute to somebody's actual life. And I'm doing this episode because I want the younger generation of people to learn from what I've been through. And I don't want nobody to go through what I've been through. Like the struggle for friends is real, y'all. The struggle for friends is real. Half of it is me not being ready to make friends, and the other half is I didn't know how to discern friends. Y'all, all of my friends I had in the past have either used me or they had copied off of me. Like, y'all can ask my cousins, it's real crazy. Copied off of me, tried to do the same thing, or they were just using me, and I was attracting users because it was like I was people pleasing. So through therapy, I had to learn how to vet friends, right? Because everybody is not your friend. Even if they approach you and they want to be friends, you have the option of being their friends, right? So even with that, I remember I had a best friend, y'all. Best friend. When I tell you that was my best friend, that was one of my true best friends. I used to always go over her house. I was real close with her family, everything. And I remember when we were real young, something had happened, and well, I can tell it because I can tell it. Y'all won't know because y'all don't even know who she is. But anyway, so a long time ago. So this had to be like high school times. This was when I was just getting into boys too. Like I'm a church girl. I don't want to look at myself because I feel like I'm going to start crying. I was like a church girl. Let me flip the screen down. Okay. So I was a church girl, and I wasn't really, my mom, she was kind of strict. So I never really had interactions with boys, even though, girl, Chris Brown posters, okay, all up on the wall, this Christmas, running all through the house. But I never I talked to boys like online, but never like dating anyone until this one guy, we all met him together. It was him and he had like 3 brothers. So we all used to be on the phone together talking. So me, I took this seriously. Like I was the oldest out of the group. He was the oldest out of the group. We talking this, that, and the third. So when we on the phone talking, I'm thinking, okay, we getting our talk on. But what I didn't know is after the phone call ended, my best friend and him started conversating on the phone. So I'm over here just naive, not putting 2 and 6 together. So come to find out, my best friend got pregnant by the guy, right? And everybody made it seem like I was just the dumbest thing of the world, that I was bad for having my feelings that I felt and all this other stuff. So I never built that trust back up with this friend. We were friends for years after that, but every guy that I talked to, I gave her a little bit, but I never gave her a lot, and I never got over it. And I was holding up all that resentment. And you know what? That helped me back from dating now. So now I'm dating freely. But all these years before, I'm holding on resentment from a friend that hurt me. I'm holding on the resentment, and I'm not trusting nobody. I'm not making no new friends. I'm not trusting these guys because I'm thinking my friend, she gonna get with him too. Right? But in the end, who is still single? Right? My friend is happy. She has kids of her own. She got a boo of her own. She's happy. But what am I? I don't have any friends. And I'm single. Where are my kids? Right? Okay. You see what I'm saying? Holding on to resentment like that, holding on to a broken heart like that will hinder you. And I am 28 years old. And I'm starting to date now. Freely. I'm free from that now. But you see what I'm saying? So my life is not all the way together. And that was one of the hardest situations, working with my therapist in prayer and learning that some friends are only here for a season and you don't have to drag them along, or you don't have to be a friend. Like it has to be a mutual situation when you have friends. So I had to learn my lesson. It took me a while. It took me a long while. I learned it. And also with dating, this is why I don't give dating advice and I don't give money advice. Those are 2 insecurities that I have. So on this channel, we talk about fashion. We talk about testimonies. We talk about family and friendships. But dating, I'm not giving no dating advice because that's not my forte. Okay? And I'm single. Thank you. I know what to speak on and what not to. Money. Am I Jeff Bezos? Am I a full-time YouTuber? Once I make it full-time YouTuber, hey, I will come on here and we're going to have a financial talk. But until then, you don't need to know my situation. I'm not going to put my situation out here because to me, I don't have my life together yet. And my funds is not matching my dreams. So once they match, of course, I will come on here and give you the steps that I took. And you will see the journey because I document everything on my channel. So 2 things I'm not going to talk about. But even with dating too, I was on and off with this guy for 8 years. 8 years, not knowing nothing. I was being so secretive about it. I didn't want to tell nobody because I was still scorned from the last situation. And he lied on me, girl. He used me, girl. Verbal abused me. Nothing too physical, but it is what it is. Like never. It was just tumultuous, right? Something I never experienced though, but I met him when I was 17 and we stopped talking in my 20s. That's a long time. But anyway, even with that situation, it's like I was so afraid to talk to another man because like, would you be just like him? I had to work through that. I can't put I cannot put my new man, okay, in the same category of this old man that I went through, right? So I had to learn that my life is not together, right? I told y'all in the first episode about my job situation. I'm in a job that has no correlation with my degree. No correlation whatsoever, right? And I have to stay here because I have to pay bills. But I'm grateful of this job because it's paying my bills, and God blessed me to be in this position that I'm in. So yes, from the outside, it's going to look like I'm grateful, but I'm telling you, this is not the end all and be all for me. Even though I don't want to say I cry, but when I wake up in the morning and I clock in, I'm clocking into a job that I know it's not my end goal. And that in self shows you that I don't have my life together. Okay. Some days I don't know how I got here, but I'm still grateful because if I didn't have this job, I wouldn't be able to do YouTube. Right? I wouldn't be able to do Instagram. I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. Like, my job actually gave me money to fund all of this equipment, fund these lights, this electronics, all this stuff that I do have. So from the outside looking in, I am very grateful, and I am grateful, but to a certain extent, because I know, like, I'm not going to get comfortable in this gratefulness, right? We have prayers that need to be answered, God. So I'm not going to be comfortable in my gratefulness. I can be grateful all I want to. I could be content all I want to, but I'm not going to stay here. So from the outside looking in, it may look like I got all my stuff together. I do not. Also, y'all, this skin situation, my skin wants to battle me. Okay? My skin wants to battle me. Every time I get stressed out, I get freaking eczema. I have eczema on my skin right now because this week has been tumultuous. Right? I spent all this money on the esthetician. She got it, but you have to keep up with that. Right? So every time I go to the esthetician, I spend over $300. Right? Just to visit her. Maybe I'll get products, maybe I don't. Right? So this burden of my skin and like my skin beating me up, and I just stopped wearing makeup every day. Ever since I went on this journey when the esthetician, I'm about to cry. I was so insecure. My friends can tell you, I was so insecure about my skin. I always wore makeup. I always wore makeup until I realized, like, in order for my skin to get better, I had to put my money where my mouth is. And also I had to stop being lazy, and I had to just do it. So it's a big insecurity, and sometimes I feel like it hindered me from dating too, because I'd be like, if I date somebody, girl, everybody with this whole catfish situation, girl, I took that literally. Like, I'm a literal type of person. I'm such an introvert. So to think like, oh, if I start dating somebody and they see what my skin look like, will they still accept me? Like, will they, or will they make fun of me? Like, ooh, this boy, girl. This boy that I look, girl, he was my boo, okay? From elementary school. Girl, look, I get excited even talk about him. From elementary school, girl, I had a crush on him forever, right? He ain't want me though, girl. He ain't never wanted me, but I always wanted him. He ain't never want me. And he went out with my little friends, and I remember one day when I started getting acne, he was like, I think he called me like a zebra or spotted something. Girl, hurt me to the core. So I've been dealing with this skin situation for all my life. So it's just like, I no longer feel ashamed for it because I'm working on it. Right? I'm not going to let nobody talk down to me about it because I'm working on it. I'm putting the work in. Okay? If you couldn't tell from the beginning to now, I've been putting work on my skin. And I'm in my skin is not nothing that's not treatable, right? Some people have bad attitudes. Some people don't have respect. Some people are selfish. Some people are lazy. Things that cannot change. Some people attitudes are off the chain. That's something, once you get old enough to a point, people are not going to excuse that behavior no more, right? But skincare is something that we can work on, right? So how dare somebody not want to be with me because of my skin? If you can't take me like this, when my glow up happen, do not get in my inbox. Okay? When this glow up happens, do not come in my inbox, right? Right. That's not even an integral man. So that's like, if somebody can't accept you for some skin, okay, when a guy go through something, when he lose his little job or he lose his little car or it's something like that, if you can't accept me for my downfalls, how can I accept you for yours? So I don't even want a man like that. So that's how my mindset changed. I had to work on that. Instead of being fearful that somebody wouldn't accept my skin, How about I'm not accepting you because you can't see a flaw in me that can get better? You get what I'm saying? So, no, my life is not all together. My life has never been all together, but my life has been I'm grateful for my life. I'm great. I have hope. I have faith that my life will get better. I don't know. I'm going to stop crying. Lord. I have so big dreams that will come to reality, and I see it every day. But looking at me in my day to day, it's only going to be God that can do this. So, yeah, from the outside looking in, I'm grateful and I'm content with what God has graced me with, and I'm using it to the best of my ability, right? I use my car, that new car that I got, that I have to pay this big car note on it. I make it make me money, right? When I need gas money, I know how to go get it. I know how to make it, right? I use my car as a vessel to get me where I want to be. So I'm forever grateful. Even that's not my dream car. I had to get that car. I didn't go to the dealership saying that car, that actually is a downgrade from the car that I actually want. And you can ask my mom and my stepdad about that. Because I went in there with intention to get a car, and that wasn't the car that I walked out with. But I'm taking pride in my car. I put all that decor in there because when I turn it in and I give them keys back, I want a full return. That's why I have seat covers. That's why I have a steering wheel cover. Because I take pride in my car, because I know once I turn that in and I pull up to my dream car lot, and I tell them to run the numbers and give me my car, it won't be no question. So, I don't know. I just wanted to do this and be a little bit vulnerable so people understand, like, I chose to share my life because partly I wanted people to see, like, if I can do it, you can do it. If God can bless me, he can bless you. And the other half is, like, this podcast, some of this stuff that I put out here, if it wasn't for God, y'all wouldn't see half of this stuff. Because I've always been to myself. My mom, she always calls me secretive. Like, I only share information that I want to share. I've always been like that from a young child. So, yeah, I just hope this was encouraging. I hope this just helped some girls who going through it. If everything on Instagram looks like it's picture perfect, girl, these people out here, don't be fooled, because everything that comes in the dark comes to light. And a lot of people don't understand, like, even with me, even if I don't bring it up, I'll be praying for people, man. A lot of the people I don't even talk to, I be really praying for them, man. I really have others in mind. And sometimes when you're put in a position to communicate, all the feedback you receive is not going to be okay. Everybody's not going to be receptive. So I'm used to that now. It hurts in the moment, but in the end, those people, they understand where I was coming from. So yeah, it's just, y'all don't know who's praying for you. Y'all don't know who your influencer is praying about. You don't know what they're going through. And even if they seem like everything is picture perfect, that it's only a portion of what they're sharing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm done, because I told y'all I didn't want to cry, and I'm not. I really didn't get on here to cry. I just wanted to encourage somebody who thinks like their life is so bad. Your life is, if you're still here, your life is amazing. We lost so many people just to COVID. We lost so many people, all these women losing their lives to domestic violence and getting taken and missing. It's just, we have to be grateful. And I'm going to continue to be grateful. My platform will show my life as being grateful, but it's not going to be the end all be all, because I'm going to strive until God tells me to stop. So I thank y'all for listening to the Fashion to Impact podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Fashion to Impact podcast. Leave us a comment. Let us know if any episode really touched you or a topic that you may want to hear. Let me know. Send us some DMs, emails, and until next time, peace, y'all.